In this video, I would like to show you why setting up two-factor authentication is very important, especially for all your exchange accounts. As you would know, Gemini, Kraken, Binance, Bittrex, and KuCoin, the five exchanges that is recommended as initial setup, all of them give this feature of two-factor authentication. And there are essentially like various ways to do two-factor authentication setup. For example, there is this app called Authy, and you can download Authy app on your iPhone or your Android phone. And this app will primarily be used for setting up two-factor authentication for Gemini. So, as part of your initial setup, when you go to your Gemini account in the security settings, let's try to log in again. As you see here, this account is set up for two-factor authentication. So it is asking to log into your phone and using this Authy app. So you need to make sure that the app is installed and you are able to log in there. And once you open the Authy app, you would be able to scroll to the Gemini, and there is a 7-digit code that needs to be entered into this system. Once you enter this, it will keep the device logged in for 24 hours. So within settings, as you can see, there are various setting informations that you need to take care of, but two-factor authentication is primarily what needs to be set up as part of as part of each of your exchange. Thankfully for Gemini, it's already taken care of because that's one of the first steps that the account setup or account registration process asks you to do. So, you have to set up a two-factor authentication using your Authy app. For Kraken, the process is something that can be done later. So I will show you how for Kraken you can do that, and similarly for the other exchanges. Here you need to enter your two-factor authentication. So for that, you have to log into, open up the GAuth app, and in GAuth app, scroll to the one that is used for Kraken. And once you log in the security, you will see a section called two-factor authentication. And this is currently the method of preference, like I had already shown you. So, you need to make sure that you are using one of the various forms of two-factor authentication. So there is a static password, which is not highly recommended. You should not be using this. It's a very low security form of logging into the exchange account. The next one is authenticator app, like using a Google Authenticator, GAuth, and this provides a very high level of security. And if you want to take it much more advanced, then I would highly recommend buying the UB key, and you will find this in the product section of the app. You can go to their link and essentially purchase this additional hardware, which will which you'll have to carry with you whenever you want to log into the account, and it's an additional layer of protection for entering or logging in into your exchanges. However, if you want like a medium solution, I would highly recommend just going with the Google Auth two-factor authentication. And basically, all you need to do is set it up. Um, uh, in order to set it up, you will have to scan this barcode. And I had also shown it as part of account opening process. The first thing is you need to copy paste this secret code and make sure you have saved this secret code in one of the notebooks, like save a soft copy as well as write it down on a piece of paper where you are maintaining all your passwords and credentials, and keep it in a safe place. So for this is for Kraken personal secret code. You need to maintain this secret code because in the future, let's say if you ever lose your iPhone or whatever phone you're using for Google Auth, you can always use and retrieve the exchange two-factor authentication by just plugging in this secret code. So let's say I've saved that. I log back in. I've already downloaded the GAuth app. It's the Google Auth app. And once you bring that app and go to the authenticator section, all you need to do is hit the plus symbol. And in the plus symbol, it'll prompt you to scan for the barcode or enter the number again. So all you need to do is scan the barcode, and once you scan this barcode here, you should be able to enter the code that is coming in the authenticator app. So I am entering the 6-digit code, and the code keeps on changing, so you need to make sure that you enter it pretty fast, and then you save it. And once you save, your two-factor authentication using Google Auth app is now set. Okay, Kraken also has a feature of trading using the app, and I highly recommend it for advanced traders. If you're just getting in, you need not do this step, but if you want to get to an advanced trading place, I would highly recommend you turn this on. So you can turn on the trading, and in a similar way you can set it up using the Google Auth app. And here you can check in, create new orders, close open positions, cancel open orders. And once you click next, it'll give you a new set of secret code. So need to make sure that you are saving this secret code. So you copy paste this secret code, and you can say this one is for Kraken personal trading secret code, and you save this secret code, and then go back to the website and then bring up the Google Authenticator app. And when you bring it up, all you need to do is you have to go to the plus section and then scan this code and enter the 6-digit code that you see in the app itself. This way you can easily open and do trades from the Kraken app, because now the app, uh, you can basically use the app or the desktop for doing any trading from there. So this is an additional layer of security, not recommended typically for beginners, but if you want to essentially become an advanced level of trader, you should make sure that you set up this uh, trading two-factor authentication. I would like to show a few other places where you can do your two-factor authentication, especially for Binance and also for the KuCoin and other exchanges such as Bittrex. So in Binance, there are two ways of setting up the two-factor authentication. One is Google Auth and the other is SMS. I will not recommend SMS authentication because it's a very easy way for advanced hackers to get in. The Google Authentication app is highly recommended. So you click on Google Authentication. I assume you would have already downloaded the Google Auth app on your smartphone. Once the app is installed, you hit the next step. Similar to the other places, this is your secret code. And the good thing about Binance is they give also a backup key. So you basically either manually enter this password, or the other thing you can do is you can also scan it. So you can scan this QR code and it should be able to quickly get onto your uh, the 6-digit code that comes with it, right? So do that process, and then once you do that, you will get a 6-digit code, which you have to enter it here. So for example, this is your backup key, so you need to store this backup key. You have to write it down, essentially this backup key that you see here, that same key that you see. You need to save this key and make a soft copy, as well as write it down on a piece of paper or a pad where you are journaling all your passwords and backup keys and everything. So once you do these two processes, then all you need to do is hit next step. You enter the backup key here, this key right that you have copied. You enter it here. You enter your login password, and then you enter the 6-digit Google Auth code that you see on your GAuth app. So those are the three things, and then that would enable your Google authentication. You have a similar set of instructions even for other exchange accounts like Bittrex and KuCoin, and this process is pretty similar. It's the same GAuth app that needs to be taken care of. I hope you like the video, and thanks for subscribing to EzFin.